Hey guys, and welcome back for another hips and shoulders 25-minute mobility and stability class, helping you work on not only your flexibility but also gaining strength as well. For this class, you're just going to need some space on the floor, a strap if you have one, PVC pipe, item of clothing or belt, scarf, anything like that will do. If not, you can always do some arm circles. This is just to get into your shoulders, opening up the movement range and getting you kind of better mobility in there. Other than that, you don't need anything at all, so come and join me in the center of your mat with your strap and we'll begin. Okay. So if you go ahead and grab your strap, come to the center of your mat. You're going to wrap one end around your one hand and then grab a hold of the other end. So you want kind of a wide grip to start with. Think about locking those ribs down, so don't arch the back as you do this. We're going to lift the strap up and over, take it all the way behind, tap the lower back, and then lift it all the way back up and over, tap the front. We're going to do 10 of these. So think about keeping that tailbone tucked, remembering that nice firm grounding with your feet through the floor, so your general Tadasana cues, and just keeping those ribs locked as you go through that overhead motion and take the strap behind you. As you do this, you might find that your shoulders begin to kind of loosen off and things get a bit easy, so you can take half a strap, twist in, and then just narrow your grip slightly, challenge yourself, work through that area. Keep the arms nice and straight as you do this. I'm going to go for 2 more each way, and then I reckon we'll have done enough. Once you've done those last few reps, just remove the strap from your hand. We're just going to inhale to lift one arm up, reaching up tall. Exhale, reach all the way over to the opposite side. Find that stretch. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. One more deep breath all the way in. Exhale. Inhale back to center, switching over the arms now. So reaching up with the opposite arm this time, finding that stretch, and then exhale as you take it all the way over to the other side. 2 deep breaths. Breathing all the way in. Exhale. One last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. Inhale back to center, and then lift the hands all the way above the head, extended Tadasana. Exhale as you hinge at the hips and come into your Uttanasana, forward fold. We're going to take the ragdoll variation. So bend at the knees, draw the chest over the thighs, crown of the head towards the floor, and opposite hand to opposite elbow. Just gently swing from side to side, focusing on finding that stretch in the lower back, in the glutes, in the hips. Don't worry about those straight legs just yet. Find that stretch across those areas. Take a few deep breaths all the way in. Exhale, fold deeper if you can. One last deep breath. And then just relax your hands to the floor. From here, we're going to come into our crouch curls. So you're going to inhale as you come into a crouch position, tucking nose to knees, chest to knees, so you're kind of in a curled up ball. And then exhale as you push back and up into your forward fold. This time you're going to focus on extending through the legs, finding that stretch in the hamstrings. And then inhale as you come back to that forward crouch curl. And then exhale as you push back. If you want to take a few pulses just to get into those hamstrings a little bit deeper, then feel free. Last one. Inhale to come to the crouch position. And then exhale as you fold. From here, we're just going to heel the toes out to the edges, heel toe out to the edges of your mat. And then inhale as we come all the way up, extended Tadasana. So you should be in quite a wide stance, squat stance, palms together at the top. And as we exhale, we're going to come all the way down into our garland pose. Think about lifting through the heart, so you've got a nice upright torso. Roll those shoulders back and down, using the elbows against the knees to just open up the hips. And you can just swing from side to side, pulse up and down, whatever you need to do to just ease into those hip joints and your groin. And then from here, just release the hands to the floor. Heel toe the feet back underneath your hips and come into your down facing dog position. So step to the back of the mat, pedal out the feet, open up the calves, the hips, the hamstrings. And then maybe just take a few pulses through the shoulders as well. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale as we step right foot outside of right hand, dropping the back knee to the floor, reaching the heart forward to find that lizard lunge position. And then inhale to lift and twist with the right hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you tap that elbow to the floor, sending the knee out sideways just slightly. We're going to do 5 taps. Just moving with your own breath and your own time. If you can't quite touch the elbow to the floor, then don't worry, just go as far as mobility allows. And then when you've done those 5 taps, step back to down facing dog and switch sides. So left foot comes outside of left hand, dropping that back knee to the floor, reach the heart forward. So set yourself up first, find that stretch in the hip flexor, keep those toes glued as the knee drops out to the side. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, tap that elbow to the floor. 5 taps on the left side. Last one. Replace the hand, step back to down facing dog, and then walk the hands, the feet all the way in towards the hands, coming into your Uttanasana, forward fold, and then inhale as you come all the way up, extended Tadasana, exhale, release. So setting yourself up in your Tadasana position, you are going to take your hands straight out in front of you. Think about solidifying those shoulders down. So pull those shoulders back and down and hold them in place. Palms together. And then when you're ready, you're just going to open up with the left hand all the way as you exhale to look behind. Bring the right hand back to the center. Sorry, the left hand back to the center, and then open up to the left and come all the way back to the center again. So you're just opening and twisting. One more each side. And then this time, inhale as you lift the hands up above your head. Interlace the fingers, take the hands back behind you as you exhale. Interlace the fingers, clasp the hands together. And then think about hinging at the hips as you come all the way down into a forward fold and pull those hands back and up behind you. Finding that nice shoulder stretch. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. Fold deeper, one more breath all the way in. Pull those hands away from that back. Exhale, release the hands. Walk the feet back to down facing dog. Maybe just take a few pedals or pulses, whatever your body needs. And then just come down onto your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're just going to do 3 cat-cows. So inhale as you dip the stomach, squeeze the shoulder blades together, round through or arch through the back, look up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as you press the ground away. Pull those shoulder blades apart. Suck the navel up towards the spine, press the ground away. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. And then after those 3, just come back to a neutral position. From here, take the right hand, place it just at the back of the head behind the ear, and you're going to take the elbow to the floor, and then inhale to lift and twist to the side. So we're opening up the chest. You're going to do 5 taps and twists or lifts. Inhaling to open, exhaling as you tap to the floor. I think this is my number 4, so I'm going to do one more. And then place the hand to the floor and switch sides. So left hand goes back behind the ear or behind the head. Inhale to lift and open towards the ceiling. Exhale to tap, elbow to the floor. So 5 again on the left side. And really focus on pressing the ground away with that right hand to get the maximum twist through that left shoulder as you go up towards the ceiling. One more. And then release the hand. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips again, so reset. We're going to do kneeling scat presses. So I really want you to focus on the movement and engaging the right muscles rather than coming up into plank and making it harder, even if you can manage it in plank. So hands under shoulders, think about your grip with your fingers. Don't have a flat hand on the floor. Grip through your fingertips, press down through your knuckles, have those spaces underneath your palms and fingers. When you're ready, you're going to inhale as you dip the stomach towards the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then press the ground away and really planche through those shoulders. So find that rounded upper back without moving your lower back or hips. So this should be quite tough, even though you're still on your knees. And for some of you that might feel a bit easier, but then the focus is in really engaging those muscles between your shoulder blades. So for me, this is already quite tough. So really squeeze and then protract. Really press that ground away. Really try and lift up. So you're really trying to force your spine up towards the ceiling between the shoulder blades. And then squeezing it down towards the floor. I've lost count, so I'm going to do 2 more in each direction. And then from here, I'm just going to sit back on my heels. So you should really feel that across your upper back, even though it's quite a small movement. So option 1, sitting back on your heels. If this is enough of a stretch, or if your knees are hurting, then don't come to a normal position. So option 1, sit on your heels. Option 2, take the feet out to the side and slide the bum all the way down between the feet and find that stretch in the quads. So we're coming into hero pose. Think about connecting your sit bones to the floor. You can always use a cushion or a block to support you if you need a halfway house. And then we're coming into eagle arms. So taking the left arm underneath the right, crossing at the elbows, wrapping the hands. See if you can take palm to palm, flatten the hands if you can. And then when you're there, inhale to lift. Feel that stretch across the right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. One more deep breath all the way in. Exhale, release, and switch sides. So right arm goes under left now, wrapping, crossing at the elbows, wrapping the hands, finding that flat palm position. You might find one side's easier than the other, and then inhale to lift. If you struggle to grab your hands, you can always use a strap for this one. One more deep breath all the way in. Exhale, and then inhale to lift, exhale, release, and shake it all out. Come up onto your hands and knees, tuck the toes, and press back to your down facing dog position. From here, we're just going to do 3 body flows. So you're thinking about rolling through the spine as you drop the hips towards the floor and look up towards the ceiling. Find cobra, and then exhaling to press back to down facing dog. So in your own time, just roll through that spine. As you inhale to roll forwards, find your cobra position, look up. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back. One last one. Look up. And then exhale, keeping the knees to the floor, sit back in extended child's pose. Forehead to the floor. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Find that space across the upper back. We're going to move into puppy pose. So if this is comfortable for you and enough for you today, then feel free to stay here in extended child's. If you want to go further, option 1, lift the bum off the heels, slide forwards, chin to floor, looking forwards to the front of the mat, opening up a little bit deeper into those shoulders. Take a few deep breaths. If this is enough for you, then you can stay here. If you want to go all the way chest to floor, grab a hold of the front of the mat and slide yourself all the way through, bringing that chest towards the floor. Don't let your hips go past your knees. So try and keep this bend in your upper back. As soon as you can feel it in your lower back, your hips are too far past your knees. This should be entirely in your thoracic and cervical spine. Wherever you're at, just take 3 deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. And then exhale, come forwards onto your fronts, into a prone position. From here, we're just going to take right hand back to right foot, Bring the heel in towards the glute, pulse the heel down towards the glute for a few reps, and then just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release, and switch sides. So left hand to left foot, pulse the heel in towards the glute a few times, and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. So we're going to move into our camel pose progressions. So for a few of you last week, you know where you're at, so you can kind of progress with me and take it a little bit further if you want, but feel free to stick with any of these stages that I show you before the full pose. So we're going to come into our prone position, arms out in front, legs back behind, and we're just going to do 3 locust lifts. So you're all going to lift as you inhale, chest and thighs off the floor, reaching forwards and back with your hands and toes. Exhale to lower, and then inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last one, inhale to lift. If this is enough for you today, then feel free to stay here. If you want to take it further, take one arm out long and your left arm out long, left leg out long, right hand comes back to right foot. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale to lift and kick into half bow. Exhale, release, and then switch sides. Taking the left hand back to the foot and the right arm long. Inhale to lift and kick. Exhale, release. Stay there if you want to, or come into full bow position. So we're going to do 2 bows. If you're going to stick with the half ones, do 1 each side. Grabbing a hold just underneath the, so just above the ankles, I suppose, on the tops of the feet. Grab a hold of your feet. Try and bring the knees together slightly. And then when you're ready, inhale to lift and kick. Exhale to lower. Last one, inhale to lift and kick. Exhale to lower. From here, coming up into a kneeling position, we're going to progress into camel pose. So we've started to open up the back and shoulders and hips with those bow positions. So we're now going to take it further into camel pose. So camel variation number 1. You can have your hands on your hips and just simply look back, or hands on your heels and look back over the shoulder. This is probably the most gentle, so whichever one you prefer to start with, then feel free. You're simply lifting through the heart. So think about someone lifting you up through the heart with a piece of string towards the ceiling, setting yourself up, sending those hips forwards and keeping a nice straight vertical thigh. So hands on hips or hands on heels. And then you're just simply going to send those hips forwards, look up towards the ceiling and let the head drop back as you reach high with your heart. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then inhale as you come all the way up and reset. So if you need to at any point, feel free to come back down into that child's pose to round the back off the other way. If you're comfortable with that and you want to continue progressing with that pose, you're trying to find that nice 90-90 degree, you can always do halves if you want to, and just reach back if that's enough for you. Today, that's absolutely fine. If you want to take it further, we're going to take the hands away from the heels now. So you're going to slide one hand down the back of the thigh. This is going to make you stronger in the core, and you're going to lift high with the other hand. Think about lifting as you go up and all the way back as far as you can go. You might be able to touch the floor, you might not, and then lift yourself all the way back up and switch hands. So left hand now comes down the back of my thigh, right hand reaches up high, and then you're going to exhale as you reach and tap and come all the way up. So if you guys give that a go 3 times each side, I'm going to watch you guys so I can see what's going on and give you tips. Hey, don't be afraid to fall, it's not actually that far. Really good. So keep thinking about sending those hips forwards and lifting up through the heart so you find a nice long bend. Really good. Try to keep those hips shooting forwards as much as you can. So think about thrusting almost forwards to start. Nice. Really, really good. Feel free to just stop and rest at any point. And then when you're ready, you can either stick with that progression, or if you're feeling a bit brave today and you want to try both hands, you can bring your hands to heart. You can have them by your sides, wherever you prefer, setting yourself up in that kneeling position. And then you're going to inhale as you lift with both hands up and over, tapping the floor, and then coming all the way back up and finding yourself again in that kneeling position. So feel free to just go back to those single ones if you want to, or you can try, I call it the suicide camel, but it's not that scary. So have a go. If you want to just stay in child's pose and relax off your lower back, because it is quite intense, you're more than welcome. Really good. Nice work. Cool. So if everyone just comes back to child's pose for a moment, bringing their forehead to the floor, reaching forwards with their arms. Just take a nice deep breath in, relax off that lower back. And then when you're ready, slowly inhale to come all the way up. We're going to swivel around into a seated position now and find ourselves in the rack. So taking the feet straight out in front of you, fingertips go back behind you. You can either have your legs bent or your feet up in front, and you're just lifting through the chest, letting the head drop back and finding that stretch across the upper shoulders. Take a few deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then slowly inhale as you come all the way up. You're then going to slide your bums down towards your heels. Come on towards your backs. And we're simply going to come into a shoulder stand and take it back into plow. So you're going to lift your feet up into the air. Bring your hands underneath your hips. Balance your hips on top of your hands. So you're in a nice kind of shoulder stand position. Try and make sure your neck is not trapped. So find a nice long neck, and then drop the legs back behind you. See if you can touch the floor. Open up that back. Reverse it in the opposite direction from what we've just been doing. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back down into a supine position. Knees towards chest, hug them in tight. Rock from side to side. Take the hands out wide, palms facing down. And as you exhale, drop the knees all the way over to the left. Inhale to lift and twist the head to look towards the right. Option to press down on the outer thigh. Extend that top leg wherever you need to be. Just take 3 or so deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then inhale as you lift your knees and your head back to center, and repeat on the other side. So exhale as you drop the knees all the way over to the right. Inhale to lift and twist the head to look towards the left. Press down on that outer thigh. Extend that top leg, or let gravity do the work, whatever you need to do. Just take 3 deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then inhale as you bring your knees and head back to center. Hug the knees in tight, rock from side to side, massage that lower back one last time. And then whenever you're ready, inhale as you come all the way up to seated. Join me in the center of your mat. And we're going to inhale as we lift the hands all the way up for the final time. Palms together at the top. As we exhale, bring them to the forehead. Kind thoughts. To the lips, kind words. To the heart, kind feelings. Namaste.